There is a strange feeling you've carried your entire life. It's not a thought, it's deeper than that. It lives under your skin, behind your eyes, in the space between your heartbeat and your breath. It whispers that you are not like the others. Not in a way that makes you better, but in a way that makes you different. Different in a way that no one can quite name, not even you. You feel both ancient and new, both heavy and light. And sometimes when you stare into a flame or listen to silence long enough, you feel as though something is watching you from both above and below. This video is not for the curious. It is not for those who dabble in spirituality like a hobby. This is for the few. The rare souls who were born with one foot in the heavens and one foot in the abyss. This is for those who have always lived in the tension between extremes. If you've ever felt like you were being pulled apart by forces that no one else can see, if you've ever felt like both a healer and a destroyer, alike in the dark and a shadow in the sun, then listen closely. You may be the link, the bridge between angelic light and demonic shadows. And if you are, then everything you've suffered, everything you've questioned, everything that made you feel broken was not a curse. It was the preparation for your true role. The first sign is this: you don't just feel emotions, you absorb them. When someone next to you is in pain, it's not sympathy you feel, it's transfer. Their sadness becomes your sadness, their anger your storm, their fear your trembling. But it's not just empathy, it's energetic alchemy. Something in you takes the pain of others into yourself, not to keep it, but to transform it. This is the mark of a bridge walker. You are a conduit through which energies move, shift, evolve. You've always wondered why you feel drained around others, why certain people leave you exhausted or even physically ill. It's because your soul is doing work behind the scenes, work most people can't even imagine. You are a secret healer, whether you've realized it or not. But here's the twist. You don't only absorb the light, you absorb the darkness too. And that's where most people break. The second sign is your inner conflict is spiritual warfare. It's not just anxiety. It's not just overthinking. It's not just depression. What you feel inside you is a cosmic tug-of-war. There are days when you feel like a saint, calm, clear, benevolent. And then there are nights when something primal rises in you, something chaotic, something that hungers not for peace but for truth, no matter how ugly. This duality isn't dysfunction. It's your design. You are not here to choose sides. You are here to bridge them, to understand the sacred in the profane and the shadow in the holy. You contain both the angel and the demon, not as enemies but as allies. And the war inside you is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to awaken you, but only if you stop trying to silence one side and listen to them both. The third sign is this deep, unshakable sense of inner exile. You could be in a room full of people who love you and still feel like a ghost. You've tried to belong, haven't you? You've tried to fit in, to play the game, to wear the masks. But none of it sticks, because your soul doesn't belong to this world or any single world. You are a traveler, a messenger, a watcher on the threshold. You are not meant to belong. You are meant to witness, to hold space between realms. And that loneliness you feel, it's sacred. It's the silence between the notes, the stillness that connects the seen and the unseen. Don't try to fill it. Learn to listen in it, because in that space you'll begin to hear things others can't. Messages, symbols, whispers from realms most people will never touch. That's your gift and your burden. The fourth sign is your dreams are not dreams. They are visitations. Every time you close your eyes and slip into the black, you enter the in-between. And you've known it since you were a child. The strange landscapes, the endless staircases, the beings made of wings and flame, the shadows that speak in riddles. You've seen too much, haven't you? Too young, too vividly. But no one believed you. They told you it was imagination, that you were too sensitive. But sensitivity is the antenna of the soul, and yours is tuned to frequencies that terrify most people. You walk in two worlds, one visible, one invisible, And in your dreams, those worlds merge. Pay attention. The symbols are not random. The messages are real. You are being trained in your sleep. The fifth sign is your very presence triggers people. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. People either open up to you instantly or they avoid you like something wild and unpredictable. Both reactions are true. You are a mirror. And when people look at you, they see parts of themselves they've buried. That can be beautiful and terrifying. You've seen it. The way people confess their secrets to you without knowing why. The way others lash out or try to control you without provocation. It's because your energy stirs the truth. The light in you calls out the angel in others, but the shadow in you calls out their demons too. You didn't ask for this. It's just who you are. A catalytic force. A walking initiation. So I ask you, what have you been told to suppress that is actually sacred? What part of you have you rejected? That might be the key to your power. If you've ever felt like too much for this world, maybe it's because you're not meant to be contained by it. Maybe you are the bridge between light and dark. Maybe your purpose was never to be understood, but to reveal what has been hidden for generations.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Once you begin to recognize that your inner chaos isn't a flaw but a design, a quiet awakening starts to unfold. You stop fighting yourself. You stop trying to amputate the parts of you that don't fit the image of purity or perfection. And in that surrender, you begin to see what was always there, the fire in the middle. The sacred flame that lives not in choosing one side over another, but in standing exactly between them. That fire is your superpower. It's the union point between angelic light and demonic shadow, and it burns with a truth that neither extreme can hold alone. You were made for this in-between, and the more you realize that, the more your power begins to take shape. This duality doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. Think about it. The angelic is clarity, elevation, vision. The demonic is depth, rebellion, raw instinct. Alone, each has purpose, but together they form something far more evolved. A being who can see the heavens and survive the underworld. A soul that has touched both grace and madness and come back with treasure from both realms. You are not here to be tame. You are here to be whole. And the only way to become whole is to stop splitting yourself down the middle. Have you ever noticed the way you can hold space for others in ways no one else can? You sit with people in their darkest hours and don't flinch. You listen to stories that would make others turn away. You have conversations about death, pain, betrayal, trauma, and instead of recoiling, you lean in. That's not just empathy. That's the result of having walked through your own fires. You understand what it means to descend into shadow and find the light hidden there. And because of that, people feel safe with you in ways they can't even explain. It's not just your kindness. It's your depth, your willingness to walk into the storm and not come out the same. That makes you a guide whether you ask to be or not. But let's be honest. This path comes with a cost. Carrying both light and shadow inside you is not an easy task. You feel everything more. You see through things others don't even notice. You sense lies before they're spoken. You feel pressure from both sides, the higher call to transcend and the deeper pull to confront. And sometimes that pressure becomes unbearable. You feel like you're about to implode. You question your sanity. You wonder if you're cursed. But what if I told you that this pressure is the very thing that's forging you into something rare? That the fire in the middle isn't trying to destroy you, it's trying to activate you. Because here's the secret, your soul is not meant to be peaceful all the time. It's meant to be alive. And aliveness means contradiction. It means passion and stillness, serenity and rage, compassion and boundaries. You are not here to erase your shadow. You're here to dance with it. To let it teach you things the light never could. And from that dance, you gain a wisdom that light alone can't offer. You become the kind of person who doesn't just offer hope, you offer truth. And truth is power, raw, untamed, undeniable power. So if you've ever felt torn in two, ask yourself this instead: what if I was never meant to choose? What if my purpose is to hold both, to understand both, to embody both? What if the world needs more souls who aren't afraid of darkness, but also aren't consumed by it? What if the bridge isn't a burden but a throne? There's something you need to hear, something no one might have told you, but your soul already knows. You are a mirror. Not a polished, sterile mirror that flatters or distorts. No, you are a sacred mirror. A raw, living reflection that shows people exactly what they are not ready to see. And that, more than anything else, is why you trigger people. It's not because you are aggressive. It's not because you're too emotional, too intense, too different. It's because your energy refuses to let others lie to themselves. You don't even have to try. You walk into a room and suddenly the shadows people have kept hidden start to squirm. The masks start to crack. The truth begins to rise, and most people aren't ready for that kind of confrontation. You've always carried that effect, haven't you? You've watched people open up around you without knowing why, confessing things they never meant to say. Or you felt people recoil from you, put up walls, even turn against you for no clear reason. It's not random. It's energetic. It's spiritual. Because your frequency doesn't match the surface level games that most people play. You vibrate at the frequency of revelation. And revelation is uncomfortable. It tears away illusions. It exposes hidden wounds. It shines a light on patterns that have been festering in the dark. And when that happens, people will either love you for it or hate you for it. But either way, they'll never forget you. This is the burden and the blessing of being the link between angelic light and demonic shadow. You don't just see people, you unveil them. You sense what others miss. You feel their inner conflict before they speak. You notice the flicker in their eyes that betrays a lie. You hear the tremble in their voice that reveals a buried grief. And because you've faced your own darkness, you are not afraid of theirs. That's why your presence alone can be healing or terrifying. People feel your depth. They feel the power that comes from someone who has walked through fire and come back not bitter, but transformed. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone wants to be awakened. Some people are deeply invested in their illusions. Some are addicted to their masks. Some have built entire lives around avoiding their truth. And when you show up, you threaten the fragile narrative they've built. You don't mean to, but you do. And so they project. They lash out. They accuse you of being too intense, too dark, too much. But what they really mean is, you see too much, and that scares them. You must learn to not take this personally. You must remember that a sacred mirror doesn't reflect to receive praise, it reflects to reveal truth. And truth isn't always pretty, but it's always necessary. So when you trigger people, don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to shrink yourself. Stand firm. Hold the reflection. Let the energy move. Because sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the discomfort that leads to awakening. And yes, this path can be lonely. Being a mirror means you often see things others don't, feel things they can't explain, carry truths they're not ready to hold. But solitude is not the absence of connection. It is the space where your real self emerges. And from that place, you begin to attract others like you. Other mirrors, other bridge walkers, other beings who carry both light and shadow in their blood and bones. You are not alone. You never were. You are just rare. So ask yourself, what would it mean to finally stop apologizing for the way you awaken people? What would it mean to embrace your role as a sacred mirror, not with arrogance but with reverence? If your presence alone shakes illusions, then maybe your life is the medicine the world didn't know it needed. There is a reason you've never fully belonged in any one place, belief or identity. You've tried. You've stood in the temples of light, wrapped in silence and serenity, and felt the peace they offer but also the limitation. You've walked through the shadows, through chaos, rage and raw truth, and felt the power there, but also the danger of being consumed. And somewhere deep in your being, you realize something that very few ever understand. You were never meant to stay in either realm. You are the threshold, the place where light and shadow meet, the path between the heavens and the underworld. You are not just a traveler, you are the bridge itself. This is not a metaphor. It is your spiritual architecture. You were forged in contrast so you could hold both, and in holding both, you guide the flow between them. You translate the language of light into something the wounded can hear. You take the wisdom of shadow and bring it into spaces where truth has been sterilized. You are not here to pick a side. You are here to be the channel, to live in such a way that both divine grace and primal fire can move through you without destroying you. That is why your path is so rare, and why it has been so painful. You've had to become strong enough to endure the weight of both extremes. You've had to learn how to walk through angelic realms without losing your grounding, and descend into darkness without losing your soul. And along the way, you've picked up the tools, the scars, the clarity that can't be taught in books or rituals. Wisdom earned in the wild, in the battlefield of your own becoming. That wisdom is not just for you, it's for the world. It's for those who are stuck in polarity, those who are afraid of their own darkness or addicted to their own light. You are here to show them another way, a way that is honest, a way that is whole. But to walk this path, you must honor your role. You must stop hiding your complexity. You must stop apologizing for not fitting into neat categories. Stop pretending to be all love and light when rage and destruction live inside you too. Stop trying to be all dark and edgy when compassion and vision burn in your heart. You are both. You are neither. You are something new, something anew, something unseen, something holy. So what does that look like in real life? It looks like becoming a living portal. It means speaking truth even when it shakes the room. It means holding space for both grief and joy in the same breath. It means knowing when to fight, when to surrender, and when to simply be. It means using your life as a vessel through which others remember who they are not by preaching, but by embodying. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. Your presence, your energy, your integrity, that is the message. And the more you walk in alignment with your dual nature, the more power flows through you. Not the power of control, but the power of transmission. So I ask you now in this final moment, are you ready to stop choosing sides? Are you ready to stand fully in your truth, not as a saint, not as a sinner, but as a soul who holds both heaven and hell in their hands and dares to call it sacred? Because that's what you are. A living threshold, a divine contradiction, a sacred link between angelic light and demonic shadow. And the world is waiting for you to remember